I think you're amazing.
You are too, Henry.
Thank you so much. Well, Perry, you are awesome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, and I appreciate you what you're doing too, buddy.
Well, thank you. Because if you allow the world to define you, if you allow friends to define you, if you allow your spouse to define you, or anybody to define you outside of how God sees you, that does open the door to rejection. God bless you. I hope y'all have an amazing day.
Thank you, Brother Henry.
Thank
Thank
you.
God bless you
Thank you.
too. Thank you for having us.
Welcome to the Brother Henry and You Show. I am so delighted that you've taken this opportunity to watch the program today. And we have an amazing program for you today, right here on the show. I am your host, Henry Harris. And I want to say thank you so much for taking this opportunity to be with me today. It's always a pleasure to be with you. This is the beginning of December. Can you believe that this year has just kind of flown by? I mean, it's almost 2024. And before you know it, it's going to be Christmas time. I'm digging my Christmas shirt. See, naughty, nice, whatever. And I'm just so grateful for you for watching. But today I want to just kind of come to you and talk to you about something that's very dear to my heart. It's been on my mind for quite some time now. And that is, do we really need closure after a relationship ends? Do we really need closure after a relationship ends? You know, many of us have experienced tragedy. We've experienced loss. We've experienced devastation. Many of us have been through this thing that we call divorce. Uh, we've been through breakup. And oftentimes when we go through that, our relationship may end, but and oftentimes when we go through that, the first thing that we ask for is closure. We want a sense of security, a sense of peace of what is about to happen. We want to know, why is this happening to me? Why did I have to experience this loss? Why did I have to go through this tragedy? Why did I have to go through this divorce? There's this why that's in our minds as to what's happening, because we oftentimes feel like that we cannot even move forward into the next phase or dimensions of our life until we get closure or completeness as to what happened in our previous um, things that has happened in our previous experience in life. So I would like to address uh, this subject because I believe that it's very relatable. I believe it's something that all of us can deal with. It's something that we've all have experienced in our lives, and many of us have been in relationships that ended, and many of us desire closure or some sense of security as to why it ended. Now you have to understand that everyone's experienced relationships, losses throughout life, and some endings are more difficult than what other people may experience. Some of it may be painful, some of it may be confusing, and whatnot. So, what does it mean when someone says, I want closure, I need closure? You know what it means? Closure refers to having a sense of understanding and accepted finality of the relationship. That's pretty much what closure means. It's just you want a understanding about the finality or the ending of that relationship. Now I do understand that closure looks different for many people. It may look different for you. It may look different than your neighbor may have a different perspective on it. A friend may have a different perspective on it. So it looks different for all of us. But at its core, it's a sense of completion. So when a person says, I want closure, they're basically saying, I need to feel complete. I need to feel a sense of security. I need to feel a sense of of peace and happiness. It's almost like, have you ever signed off on a house before? It's almost like a done deal, a signed deal. It's signed off. Okay, I'm good now. I have a full understanding as to why we didn't work out or whatever the case may be. So closure provides or gives me the ability to move forward to what's next in my life. Some people can't move forward to what's next in their life because they did not receive closure from the last relationship. They did not receive closure from the last marriage or the last friendship. So it can be difficult to move forward when there's no clarity as to why the relationship ended. Many of us have been in those situations where we felt that way. No clarity, no understanding why it ended. Some people are not even trying to give you closure or understanding as to why it ended. So as I said, closure looks different for everyone. Therefore, everyone's perspective or expectations may be different. But I believe overall that if you want closure, you need to be clear about what your expectations are. And all of us have expectations. We do. We may not admit it. We may not say it. We have expectations. So what do I expect from this person that I'm trying to get closure from? What do I expect from this person I'm trying to get this sense of peace from? Or signing the deal, like I said, if you have a house, how do I reach that point? Well, I'll give you a few. Number one, you need to give yourself time to grieve. Give yourself time to grieve and don't allow anyone to tell you how to process your pain or how to process your grief. Only you can do that. So give yourself time to grieve. Number two, consider writing down your thoughts. Remember what you may expect or hear. You may not hear it at all. I know a lot of people, they want closure and they don't write down their thoughts, because this is all about this. Number two is connected to communication, a mutual communication with the other person, sitting down with them, writing down your thoughts. This is what I want to address with you. Now, they may not, you may give 100%, they may give 70%. I'm not saying you have to accept that. All I'm saying is do not create unrealistic expectations, because you may give your all in telling them why you feel like that connection or that relationship with that person didn't work. They may not do that. So what I'm saying is you may have an idea of what you may want to hear, but you may not hear it from the other person that you're trying to get closure from. Number three, honesty. It's important to be honest as to why you want things to end. Be honest. I've been in situations in my life, relationships, friendships, where honesty is messy. In the words of William Paul Young, the author of The Shack, it is messy because we've been programmed to lie for so long where it just becomes normal. And I feel like when it comes to the end of a relationship, whether it's a friendship or a marriage or whatever that connection may be, it is important to be honest as to why you want to end that relationship. They may not want to end it. It may cause some hurt, it may cause some pain, but at the end of the day, you can at least say, you know what? I was honest with this person. I expressed to them how I felt. I told them I wasn't happy anymore. Just be real. Be honest. Again, honesty is messy, but it's rewarding. It really is. Number four, acknowledge your feelings and validate your emotions. A lot of times when you're in that phase of closure, we don't validate our feelings. We don't honor or validate our emotions. We don't acknowledge it. We pretty much sweep it under the rug or ignore it. But acknowledge it. Like I said, take time to grieve. Take time to process. It's not easy when it comes to the end of some relationship. And the last thing I was thinking about is make preparation for the next phase of your life, whatever that may be. It may be another boyfriend, maybe another girlfriend, maybe another husband, maybe another wife, and it may be another friendship. But make space and make preparation for that next phase in your life. I'll say what I just said not too long ago. Many people will never get there because they didn't get closure from the last relationship that they have. Some people feel like they cannot move forward whatsoever unless they have that closure from the past. So in your mind, you can say, this is what I expect to hear. This is the reaction that I expect to see. I want to feel validated and that I am being heard, but also making sure that it's mutual as well. It works both ways. Now, here's the tricky question. Will I always get what I expect? I hate to bust your bubble this Sunday, but I'm going to tell you, no. You're not going to always get what you expect. This makes the concept of closure difficult because you are not having your expectations met. It makes it difficult because you don't have your expectations met. You're not hearing what you want to hear. You're not seeing the reactions that you would like to see. You're not seeing the emotions that you would like to see out of this other person. In your mind, it's almost like they're not even taking it serious. Does everyone deserve closure? Does everyone deserve closure? Put in the comment section what you think, either yes or no. If you say yes, please expound as to why you said yes. If you say no, please expound as to why you said no. So I'm going to say no, because closure is always determined by so many things. Maybe they were narcissistic. Maybe they were abusive. Maybe they were controlling. No, there's no closure for you. And your response to a person who exhibits this type of behavior is to move away in silence. Your abuser does not deserve closure. The narcissistic does not deserve closure. For what? They're not going to be honest. They don't care about you grieving. They don't care about it that it ended. They're off to the next girl or off to the next boy. They don't care. So why do we feel like, oh, I got to get closure, or I got to give closure to him? No, why? Everybody does not deserve closure. Don't even give that person the time of the day for that. I was in a relationship. It was about maybe 6-7 months. It was a very short-term relationship, and I kind of noticed some little things that I kind of swept under the rug. Little things like being literally for no reason, like being streamed at, cussed at, dehumanized, pretty much treated poorly. Wasn't really treated right. And then I asked myself, Henry, do you really deserve this? Will you go the next 6-7 months with this individual thinking that they're going to change, thinking that it's going to be okay? And some inside of me said, no, I refuse to stay connected to this individual. And you know what? When I left that relationship, I didn't text, I didn't call, I didn't send an email. I simply just cut it off. And that's my encouragement to you today. I didn't give that individual closure, because let me tell you something about what I'm about to say. They know what they did. They may be sitting over there like twirling their thumbs like, why isn't he talking to me no more? Why is she talking to me no more? What? You know why? Because you know what you did. You don't need closure. You know why he left. You know why she left. You don't need closure. So even if they determine to find out what's wrong or why, keep in mind they know why. Sometimes the best closure you can give someone is simply just cutting them off without no explanation. Well, I feel like I gotta explain. I gotta tell them why I don't want to be with them no more. No, you know what closure is to me? Cutting you off. I don't care if that's a friendship, family, or whoever it is. The brother Henry, they're just cruel. That's not cruel. That's creating healthy boundaries for yourself. That's telling yourself, I deserve better. That's telling yourself that I'm creating a space around myself that's healthy, with healthy people, healthy friendships, healthy relationships. The days of closure are over. Walk away. I don't care if they're not treating you right, walk away. If they're not doing you right, walk away. Cut them off. For some, it's not a matter of if they deserve closure or not. Some people believe, and even experts even say, as we go to a close, that closure doesn't even exist. And I agree with that to an extent, because if you really think about it realistically, even if you did hear what you wanted to hear, even if you did see what you wanted to see out of the other person you're trying to get closure from, what if that still doesn't mend the pain? What if that still doesn't mend the hurt? What if that still doesn't give you the full security and peace that you want? So in a sense, closure may exist for some of you, but in my mind, I'm kind of like on the fence with it. I think closure can be a good thing, to know why something ended. And I think it depends on the circumstances, that maybe sometimes we don't have to give an explanation as to why things ended. You just saw what you saw, you experienced what you experienced, and you never want to go back on that journey again. So I need to know your thoughts. Please put it in the comments section. Do you believe that closure should be allowed in a relationship? Do you believe that we should give closure after a relationship ended? I appreciate you for watching. If you enjoyed today's program, subscribe to our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/Henry Harris 100, or follow us on the Brother Henry and You Show. Like our page, connect with us. And I appreciate you so much. Have an amazing day. Well, Perry, you are awesome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, and I appreciate you what you're doing too, buddy.
Well, thank you. Because if you allow the world to define you, if you allow friends to define you, if you allow your spouse to define you, or anybody to define you outside of how God sees you, that does open the door to rejection. God bless you. I hope y'all have an amazing day.
Thank you, Brother Henry.
Thank
God bless you too. Thank you for having me.